Hi, Grandma. Can Nina come over for dinner?
Sure. I've been meaning to ask you, what would happen if someone offered you a drink?
Grandma?
If anyone ever does, I want you to say, no, I have too much
That's underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. This message brought to you by SAMHSA.
Counselor suggested I try Al-Anon. I didn't understand why. I'm not the one with the problem, but I'm glad I went. Do you worry about someone's drinking? You are not alone. Al-Anon or Alateen can help. Call 866-200-0033 or visit alanon.org/hope.
Here's the latest Jazz 90.1 weather forecast.
Some decent weather to talk about here for the day on your Saturday. However, do know that a couple of showers will be around first thing during the day, and then later in the afternoon, the breeze out of the west will dry things out. We'll enjoy some partial sunshine, the high temperature in the mid-70s. Becoming mainly moonlit tonight. That's the harvest moon that'll be shining on, the overnight low in the mid-50s. Tomorrow brings intervals of sun and clouds, the high temperature 70 to 75. Nothing more than an isolated shower Monday. Look for clouds and some sun, the high in the mid-70s. I'm meteorologist Josh Nichols for Jazz 90.1.
And currently, right now, we've got a few clouds out there. It's 73 degrees at the airport and 75 here at member-supported Jazz 90.1.
Hi, this is Matt Taylor inviting you to join us for Memories in Melody every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 right here on member-supported Jazz 90.1.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Nick Francesco.
I'm Dave Enright.
And I'm Steve Ray.
And at 36 minutes after the hour, well, we are Soundbites. And you can give us a call at 585-966-JAZZ. That's 966-5299. Toll free 1-800-790-0415. And now for my favorite news story of the week. As Apple debuted its newest iPhones on Tuesday, a striking new feature took center stage. A 3-lens setup that puts a near-professional camera in the hands of anyone who can afford the $1,000 to $1,100 devices. 3 lenses are a lot better than 2, unless they send you reeling in disgust. That's the unexpected reaction thousands of Apple's fans shared on social media as images spread of the back of the new phone, where the trio of lenses are crowded into a small square near the top left corner. The backlash comes from people who say they suffer from an obscure and perplexing addiction called Trypophobia, a fear of clusters of small holes, like those found in shoe treads, honeycombs, and lotus seed pods. Essex University professor Jeff Cole, a self-diagnosed trypophobe and researcher in the United Kingdom who studies the condition, calls it the most common phobia you have never heard of. The phobia isn't recognized in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, which psychologists and psychiatrists use to diagnose patients, but self-described sufferers and some researchers claim the images can evoke a strong emotional response and induce itching, goosebumps, and even nausea and vomiting. Trypophobia was only named in 2005. Over the next decade, though, thousands of people have reported suffering from trypophobia. Support groups have popped up on social media, but why would these images of harmless stuff possibly bother people? Some scientists are trying to figure out why people cringe at close-up photos of objects as innocuous as a frothy latte. They have found that even those who don't feel repulsed by some such images often feel uncomfortable looking at a bunch of small holes clustered together. Just as stripes can cause headaches and flashing lights can induce seizures, clusters of holes might have a physiological effect on the brain. Researcher Arnold Wilkins, a professor emeritus at the University of Essex, theorized that mathematical principles hidden in the patterns require the brain to use more oxygen and energy, which can be distressing. Other research suggests the discomfort might come from an innate drive to avoid infectious diseases and contaminated food. Some have also hypothesized the fear could stem from an evolutionary response to dangerous animals, like poisonous frogs and insects, which often display patterns similar to those seen in trypophobic photos. Does the new camera setup on the iPhone creep you out? Give us a call, 585-966-JAZZ. That's 966-5299 and toll free at 1-800-790-0415.
And Twitter exploded with memes.
Twitter exploded with memes, but I will say I have two reactions to it. One is you look at that cluster of holes and you don't know what's coming out of it.
Yeah.
That goes back to
Heaven forbid it's Willy Wonka.
things in my youth.
The Johnny Depp Willy Wonka.
The
Willy Wonka
bad
will always
Willy Wonka.
be
Gene Wilder.
Wilder, yeah.
Absolutely right. But the other thing is, honestly, and this is going to creep people out too, the back of the iPhone looks to me like spider eyes.
Yes. Especially that big hairy killer, was it wolf spider?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
there's one of those memes in there too.
Yeah, I'm sure that's in there as well.
iPhone 15, all cameras on
all
the
cameras all the
camera.
time. But yeah, people are actually.
Yep, there's the spider.
Yep, people are actually creeped out by. That's what I see, spider eyes when I look at it. People are creeped out by multiple holes.
I like the fidget spinner.
Oh, look, see, it does kind of look like a fidget spinner. Now that's a good image. I mean, comparatively, I think fidget spinners are. Okay, but it's a better image than spider eyes, I guess. But yeah, I'm not going to buy an iPhone anyway. Certainly not an $1,100 phone.
Just make sure you don't get the Peter tingle. You haven't seen the new Spider-Man movie yet, have you?
Oh, I have seen the Spider-Man movie.
The Peter tingle.
Yes, the Peter tingle. That's right. But yeah, so yeah, there's a whole group of people who find the new back of the new iPhone to be unsettling, from minor unsettlement to major nausea and fear and shaking and everything else.
Well, how many cameras does your phone have?
Mine has two, one in the back and one in the front.
Only one on the back?
I only need one because it's an amazing phone.
That's the XL, isn't it?
Yeah, this is you weren't here for all of this. My old phone, my lovely Pixel 1, which I absolutely love, my Pixel 1 XL, died. I said this, 30% battery, then 40% battery, then 50% battery. So I went and got the Pixel 3a XL
3A, yeah.
for $480 list price. It does everything I needed to do. It has amazing night sight, so indoor pictures are great. It does portrait photos super easily and nicely. It's got a 3,700 milliamp hour battery, so it takes like forever. It lasts rather forever. It's a pretty amazing device, and I'm very impressed with it all the way around. And
looks like the Pixel 4 XL is going to have 3 cameras.
Yeah, but they're on a black background, so you don't see them quite the same way. But this is the photo I took of a friend of mine, and you can see it does the portrait thing, or you can turn that off if you want and see everything. Yeah. But the other thing to notice is that's a super bright background, and yet his face is...
There's been some interesting discussions in the legitimacy of photos. That photographic evidence used to be a big thing,
right?
And you needed a dark room and experts to change a photo.
Right.
Now you don't even take a real photo on your phone.
Right.
The camera and software on your phone does so much processing before you see the photo that it's not a real photo. The HDR was one of the first big ones, the high dynamic range. So if you have a dark subject in front of a bright background, it's usually washed out by the bright background.
Right.
So you have to close your aperture to cut down the bright background, but then you can't see the front subject.
Right.
So it takes a picture with the aperture closed to get the front and the aperture open to get the back.
And then
mixes them together and shows you the picture. So we haven't had real pictures in years.
Right. I had a guy ask me if could I fax him a document?
Yeah.
And I thought, could I Pony Express it to you? Of course, faxes are newer than Pony Express.
Yeah.
By 5 years.
Not by much, yeah.
By 4 years.
Yeah.
Pony Express was 1860 to 1861. Yes, less than a year is the only time the Pony Express actually ran. And believe it or not, the fax machine was invented in 1865. That blows my mind.
Yep.
But
there were similar concepts hundreds of years before with signal flags on mountains. Yeah.
But the reason I do understand this.
Yeah.
The reason I had to send him a fax is because their company legally thinks of a fax as an acceptable legal document, and nothing else
Real
is. So
estate
until
and
they
legal.
so until they update their laws, their rules, I have to fax them. Luckily,
So I can
they're
physically
allowed to-
sign it, scan it, and send it to you, and that doesn't work.
Right, but it has to be faxed. Right.
So now I have an email to fax service. So I physically scan
Yes.
it, sign, and then send it as an email, and the other end sends
Faxes
it as
it.
a fax.
That's exactly right. That's exactly what I did. Now there's another. Rackspace sent me a PDF, which I just had to sign and send back. That was easy. That was 8 seconds, to do that. That was fine. But this company that wanted faxing, I haven't faxed anything in.
We had a
I
customer.
just
110
threw
years, I
out
think.
my old fax machine.
Yeah.
We had a customer get tricked by one of those fake tech support places, and when he called the credit card company to dispute the charge, they sent the credit card company a copy of the signed service contract that he agreed to pay, and they used brush script font to sign the contract in his name.
It gets nuts at some point. The fact is that we're in a new era, and we have to pay some serious attention to how we're going to handle signed documents and legally acceptable things, whether it's a document or a photo or whatever it is. I can, for example, I record a lot of the calls that I get. Are those legally acceptable?
I think New York is a one-party state.
No, well, yes, New York is a one-party state. So as long as one of the two parties knows it's being recorded, it's legal.
And that's
you.
not
the point, right? That's me. So I ought to know whether or not I recorded it.
Yeah.
So that's legal. But will it be accepted in court as an unimpeachable source?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's so easy to edit.
We're going into the whole chain of custody again issue now. That did you take it? Yes. Was it ever out of your possession? Yes. Well, now it's suspect.
Right. Was it out of your possession? No. Well, you uploaded it to the web. Yeah. It was out of your possession.
Yep.
Okay, I guess. I guess that's how that works.
Then you got to have experts claiming it's real, and the other side will have experts claiming it's been doctored, just enough to raise reasonable doubt.
That's all they have to do.
Yep.
So we're entering a new era, and we aren't there. We don't know what we're doing with it yet, but it's out there. It's a whole new world. Here's a 3D printed hanger for a Raspberry to put on the back of your monitor. It's probably 20 cents worth of filament, and you're a couple hours letting it sit on the thing.
I was telling Dave during the break that my Raspberry Pi is sitting next to my 3D printer in my pile of things to get to.
Yeah. Well, I owe him some stuff, and I'll get to it. But my daughter this week called me and said, "Dad, can you 3D print some stuff for me?" The correct answer is, "Of course I will, honey." So I've been doing that all week.
That's far more important.
That is far more important, and I will be the first to admit that. So yeah, but I do love 3D printing. It is fun. It is fun. Okay, I get it. You take cookies, thanks. It is fun, and Raspberry Pis are fun. And now that I'm retired, I can have all the fun I want.
Yeah.
All the fun your wife lets you.
Oh yeah, yes.
That too.
All the fun she wants.
Yeah.
Right. The one thing I do need, though, is I realize that all of my old monitors none of my new old monitors have HDMI. Mm-hmm. So now I have to actually spend money for an HDMI monitor if I want to hang the Raspberry Pi off.
An HDMI to VGA adapter.
Then just get
I
a small,
can't.
just get a small TV.
Well, but I'm going to get one of these 7 or 9 inch monitors, and that way I can hang it where I can see it all the time for my monitoring software.
Yeah, but what I'm thinking though is, you can sit there with the TV screen. You could have that in one corner.
Picture in picture. See, picture in picture as a feature almost doesn't exist anymore because it's easier to get a second monitor.
Right.
or
Well,
third or fourth.
in fact, I had the.
In fact, that screen there with the 9 inputs on that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you could have other, if you're wanting to watch an old movie or something else or listen to other stuff, you could have this all going on one screen.
I had a
monitor
switcher.
multiple systems.
Right. I had a switcher because I don't have enough inputs in my TV. I had a switcher that I got from you. It died, so I have to buy a new one if I'm going to do that. But I could put 5 or 6 Raspberry Pis on it. The problem is I want that monitor to be always visible.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
So
they have that one model.
well, that's what I'm saying. I can get a 7 or 9 inch for $70.
It mounts right on the case.
Right.
Just hang that, and you can sit there and watch what's going on.
That's exactly my point. That's what I plan to do. And I can monitor everything that I need to monitor without an issue, and I could even one of the things I've got is a TV camera out my front door, like I said.
All right, we got a couple questions here. Okay, it says, "Hey guys, I typed the address for the ad about ham radio you ran during the break in search Chrome and got porn. Chinese, I think.
You probably typed the
Hell
address
radio.
wrong.
No, it's hamradio.org. What you see, got thanks. Thanks.
Yeah, it's hamradio.org, right?
Yep. So yeah, it said we'll check that out. And let's see.
Except that certificate is expired.
So
Yeah, the certificate
I'm
is
sorry,
expired.
we didn't listen to the sponsor. Sorry about that.
Yeah, we
Let's see.
generally have a business to conduct.
Soundbites saying bash is like disk is like saying a roll of rolls is like a pinto.
No, it is not.
Saying bash is like dis, D-I-S.
He meant
is like
DOS.
saying, yeah, I think that's what
He meant DOS.
It's like saying Rolls Royce is like a pinto. No.
Oh, yeah, yes. Bash is way more capable than DOS.
Yeah.
So, yes, I agree. But what we did say was that DOS stole many of the features from Bash is what we're actually saying.
Yeah.
We're not saying that they're comparable in any way whatsoever. No, DOS is, no. Bash is much more capable.
Oh.
And the Z shell is actually an enhancement of Bash. So if you have Bash, you still have, if you have Z shell, I believe all the Bash commands work. You just have some extra ones that I, so far at least, don't particularly
Haven't
care
come
about.
across yet.
I don't care about. They don't do me any good. But well, I'm also even with my arthritis, I'm still a pretty fast typist. So I don't need some of the shortcuts that they have.
Well, like I say, that's the other thing great about the internet, though. You folks, and I'm sure whether it's computing or whatever you want to do, you can usually go to YouTube and find a video, an instructional video on how to do it. And I mean, that's everything from working on your car to repairing this or that, and it's just there. And how accustomed we have gotten to just always go into that to do things. I mean, a lot of folks are taking it upon themselves to fix this or fix that or do this or do that. And it's like, oh, yeah, I just sat there because at any point you can stop the video, take notes or rewind it, go back and forth. So, again, it's made our lives a lot simpler. And
I've been, like I said, learning Python, and I found a site called Socratica, and they have a YouTube channel called Learn Python. Duh. And they're excellent, short, precise videos about one small topic. It's great. So when I want to learn about tuples, or I want to learn about lists, or I want to, whatever I want to learn about, I got like 5 to 8 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes generally, on the topic. They give you all the basic information, just enough to get you to the next step and figure out what you're doing. It's pretty amazing. Some nice stuff. YouTube, like I've said before, the last statistic I saw, and it's probably woefully inadequate at this point, the last statistic I saw was 400 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every minute.
I wouldn't doubt it.
400 hours every minute. So I'll guarantee you're going to find something cool.
Yeah, and whatever topic that you're interested in,
Right.
it's there.
And there's a lot of junk as well,
Yeah.
but so what? I think it's called Astronaut. I got to look it up now. Astronaut.io. I think is what it's called. Yes. And what they do is they show videos from YouTube that have 0 views.
Really?
Yeah, it's so cool. Now, a lot of them are, family videos that nobody's looked at yet, or test videos, or that sort of fare. But astronaut.io. That's Google. You won't get there from there.
Go up to the address bar.
Have you ever?
It will get me. It will get me
Okay.
there. I just have to click 3 times.
All right, that music tells us that we are done for another week. I want to thank Dave Enright, Steve Ray. I'm Nick Francesco. George, as you know, has retired. So for the moment, there is no German show following us. We'll be having jazz music. What an innovation for a jazz station. But don't go away, because it's great music, and it's soothing and calming, and the sort of music you want to listen to while you're learning Python. But we'll be we'll be back next week with a whole lot more of the longest running computer show in the known universe. That's right. It's Sound Bytes right here on the Truly Great, and truly grateful to you that we can continue into our 31st year. Sound Bytes right here on the great Jazz 90.1. Be good to each other, and we will see you in just 166 hours.
When you underwrite the programming of Jazz 90.1, you make your business known to people who enjoy jazz as much as you do. Your on-air message is short and tasteful, making it easy to remember, with basic information about your business, including how to reach you. Underwriting is economical, too. To find out more about underwriting Jazz 90.1, call 966-2660. That's 966-2660.
Guide Dog Partners bring greater freedom, confidence, and mobility.